Hello and welcome to the lecture. Let's understand what is internet. So let's look at the problem that we are solving it here. We have solved the first challenge, that is the language challenge, how Jim and Bob can speak the same language. We have solved it. Now Jim and Bob agree on to the same language and then they communicate. So let's understand the language number 2, that is the distance problem, right? How Jim computer can find Bob computer. And in terms of understanding how they solve this problem, we'll understand what is internet as well. So let's look at this example of transfer of information via the computers. We said that we will use TCP/IP protocol. TCP/IP protocol is basically helps you to transfer information from one computer to another computer. Okay, let's take an example of your TV remote via a TV, where we agree on to a protocol saying that infrared protocol is used to communicate between your TV remote and your TV. So that's not a problem. So communication can happen. You can control your TV with your remote. But the problem is there is no distance problem between your TV remote and your TV. Okay, obviously we know if you take your remote and go out of your house and try to control your TV, it will not happen because your distance is a problem, right? That's where the challenge that we are trying to solve it here. When there is a distance, how they find each other, right? How they try to communicate when there is a distance. Well, if there is no distance, then there's no problem. Like if you stay in your home, your Wi-Fi is not a problem. If your headphone is nearby you, then that's not a problem. If you move away from your headphone to your phone, then the distance challenge come in picture. Language is not a problem because once the distance is not a problem, language is not a problem. Language has been agreed, but when the distance come in picture, then that's where the challenge that you have to solve. Okay, so let's understand if distance is a problem, how do you solve that challenge of communication? And in terms of Jim and Bob, okay, Jim stays in USA and Bob stays in Australia. Obviously distance is a problem here. And how Jim computer can talk to Bob computer when they live in two different regions so far away. Okay, so let's understand how this problem can be solved. So let's understand what is internet. Okay, internet is a network. Okay, remember it is a network where group of computers connected together with a single wire. You have all these computers in the internet, they all connected with one wire, irrespective of where they stay. If you are connected to an internet, you are actually saying we all are connected via a single wire. And why you have to connect via a single wire? So that you can find each other. Well, think of how the current flows in through your house. Okay, all the current that we flows in through our house is via the power cables, right? All the power cables or the current cables that is connected all over the world, sending all this current back to our house, right? Similarly in internet, all the computers are connected to either via a single wire so that the information can be passed via these computers and they can be reachable via the single wire. Okay, so that's the concept of an internet. So when someone say what is internet, it is nothing but a network, right? It's nothing but a network where all the computers are basically communicated with a single wire, so they can communicate, they can find themselves and they can communicate. Okay, so let's look at what is the purpose of internet. All the computers in internet can find each other and connect. That is the only purpose that internet exists. So let's take a step back. Now let's understand Jim and Bob's problem. Well, Jim's computer is in USA and Bob's computer is in Australia. So with the help of the internet, means if Jim computer can connect to an internet and Bob computer can connect to the internet, then they all are connected via a single wire and now they can find themselves, because internet is a network where all the computers can be reachable, can be found, right? They can be found, they can be connected, and you can send information between the two systems via the same protocol, that is TCP/IP protocol. Okay, so that's how the internet can solve the problem of the distance. So once Jim can find Bob computer via the internet, then Jim can send a request to say buy phone and Bob can say send request to sell the phone. That's how the Jim computer can find Bob computer via the internet. So let's look at the definition of an internet. Let's do a quick reference of what we have seen so far. Internet is a network where group of computers connected together with a single wire. Systems connected in the internet network are able to communicate with each other and exchange data. That is the main purpose of internet. You can connect to internet to access other computers and exchange data via TCP/IP protocol. So that's the purpose, right? So if you want if Jim want to find Bob computer, they connect to internet so that they now can be visible and they can connect with other computers that is visible in the internet as well. Well, that's the purpose of internet. So let's understand whether we have really solved the Jim and Bob's problem. Well, we have seen Jim can now connect to internet, Bob can connect to internet, everything is fine. They can find themselves and they can connect themselves. But there's one problem. There are billions of computers in the internet. With billions of computers in the internet, how Jim computer can uniquely identify saying that, oh, this is a Bob computer, let me send a request to buy phone. Okay, internet is a place where you can connect to all the computers, but how do you identify them? How do you identify a specific computer in the internet? That's the challenge, right? How Jim computer can identify Bob computer. Let's understand how this problem can be solved. Okay, and this problem of identifying computers can be solved via this protocol called as TCP/IP protocol. TCP/IP protocol is a protocol used to exchange data. It has some definitions also attached to it. Means you have a set of rules to follow. Once you follow this and you are reachable, then TCP/IP will take care of communicating to a specific computer in the internet. Okay, so let's understand what is TCP/IP and understand how you can solve this challenge, like how Jim computer can identify Bob computer. Okay, so let's look into that in the next lecture.